The 1989 P5-cent coin, often overshadowed by its more iconic counterparts in the world of coin collecting, has emerged from the shadows in recent years to become one of the most sought-after and valuable coins in history. It is a story that is as unexpected as it is fascinating, with twists and turns that make the coin's journey from obscurity to immense value almost as captivating as the coin itself. Many casual observers might dismiss it as just another ordinary nickel, but beneath its surface lies an extraordinary tale of error, rarity, and the unpredictable forces of the market that have combined to elevate it to unprecedented heights. With a price tag now exceeding $199 million, the 1989 P5-cent coin has stunned the numismatic world, making headlines around the globe and becoming an object of obsession for collectors, investors, and enthusiasts. To truly understand how such an unremarkable coin could achieve such a monumental price, it is necessary to step back in time to the late 1980s, a period that would forever alter the course of numismatic history. The U.S. Mint, which was responsible for producing the country's currency, was undergoing significant technological upgrades and changes during this era. The 1980s saw an increasing reliance on more advanced machinery and computerized systems to mass-produce coins, a shift that was intended to improve efficiency and reduce costs. However, like any process that relies heavily on technology, these advancements also introduced the possibility for mistakes, glitches, and unforeseen errors that would, in this case, result in the creation of a coin unlike any other. The exact details of how the 1989 P5-cent coin came into existence remain somewhat shrouded in mystery. While it is clear that an error occurred during the minting process, the exact nature of that error is still a subject of debate among experts. The most widely accepted explanation is that the 5-cent coin was produced using a rare and unintended mix of metals. Normally, U.S. nickels are composed of a copper-nickel alloy, a combination that has been in use for decades. However, for reasons that are still unclear, a small batch of coins, likely only a handful, was struck using a different alloy, one that had not been intended for use in nickels. This error in material composition gave the coin an entirely different weight, appearance, and chemical structure from the vast majority of 5-cent coins produced during the same year. At first glance, the 1989 P5-cent coin appeared to be an ordinary nickel. The design featured the familiar portrait of Thomas Jefferson on one side, while the reverse showed Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia home. Nothing about the coin stood out as unusual. It was only when collectors and numismatists began closely examining the coins that they noticed something strange, something that set this particular nickel apart from all others. The alloy mix, though subtle, created a coin that had a slightly different sheen, a different weight, and a different chemical reaction when exposed to certain testing methods. These were the first signs that the 1989 P5-cent coin might be more than just another routine minting of standard currency. For many years, the 1989 P5-cent coin languished in obscurity. Few collectors were aware of its existence, and even fewer realized the significance of the error that lay at the heart of the coin. While rare errors in coinage are not entirely uncommon, they usually result in only a small increase in the value of the affected coin. For example, a double die coin or an off-center strike might be worth a few hundred or a few $1,000s to the right collector. However, in this case, the unusual nature of the mistake, combined with the sheer rarity of the affected coins, would lead to a far greater outcome. It wasn't until the early 2000s that a group of dedicated numismatists, who had spent years honing their skills at identifying rare coins, began to notice something strange at auctions. Coins that appeared to be ordinary 1989 nickels were being sold for much higher prices than anyone had expected. Curious, these experts began to investigate further. What they uncovered was truly remarkable. Among the coins being auctioned off at inflated prices were a small number of 1989 P5-cent coins that had the strange alloy composition. Upon further analysis, they confirmed that these coins were not just any ordinary 5-cent pieces, they were a once-in-a-lifetime error, a mistake that had slipped through the cracks of the mint's quality control systems. The word quickly spread throughout the numismatic community, and soon, the 1989 P5-cent coin became a hot commodity. Professional collectors, dealers, and investors scrambled to acquire these rare coins, with prices continuing to rise as demand surged. What began as a quiet whisper within the numismatic world soon became a full-blown frenzy, with collectors offering astronomical sums of money in hopes of securing a piece of this extraordinary coinage. The 1989 5-cent coin, which had once been dismissed as an insignificant piece of currency, had suddenly become one of the most coveted objects in the world of rare coins. The frenzy surrounding the 1989 5-cent coin reached new heights when the first example, in near-perfect condition, was sold at auction for a staggering $199 million. The sale shocked the world and set a new record for the most expensive coin ever sold. The story of this remarkable coin captured the public's imagination, and soon, the 1989 5-cent coin became a symbol of the potential for hidden treasures to be found in the most unexpected places. It was a testament to the unpredictable nature of coin collecting, where a small mistake or error could result in a windfall for those lucky enough to discover it. The question on everyone's mind was, why did the coin sell for such an astronomical amount? While its rarity and the error in its composition were certainly factors, the coin's value also stemmed from its unique place in history. For collectors, the 1989 5-cent coin was not just a piece of currency, it was a symbol of a rare moment in time, a mistake that had turned into something extraordinary. It was a link to the past, a tangible connection to a specific moment in the history of the U.S. Mint and the world of numismatics. For many collectors, owning one of these coins was about more than just the financial investment, it was about preserving a piece of history that was unlike anything else. As news of the record-breaking sale spread, experts began to weigh in on the future of the 1989 5-cent coin. Would its value continue to rise, or had it reached its peak? Some predicted that the coin's price would plateau, while others speculated that it could one day reach even greater heights. As with all rare collectibles, the value of the 1989 5-cent coin was subject to the whims of the market, an ever-changing landscape that could be influenced by factors such as public interest, the number of remaining coins in circulation, and shifts in the broader economy. Regardless of what the future held, the 1989 5-cent coin had already secured its place as one of the most valuable and iconic coins in numismatic history. But the 1989 5-cent coin story is not just about its price tag or its rarity, it is also about the journey it took to get to this point. From its humble beginnings as a simple error during the minting process to its rise as a global symbol of numismatic rarity, the coin embodies the unpredictable nature of the world of collectibles. In many ways, the 1989 5-cent coin serves as a reminder that even the most ordinary objects can hold extraordinary value, if they happen to come from the right place, at the right time, and with just the right amount of history behind them. The allure of the 1989 5-cent coin is about more than just the money it commands, it is about the story it tells, the mystery it holds, and the countless collectors and investors who have become captivated by its mystique. As the years go by, the legacy of this remarkable coin will only grow, and it will continue to inspire future generations of numismatists to seek out the hidden treasures that lie waiting to be discovered in the world of rare coin collecting. Whether its value continues to climb or eventually stabilizes, the 1989 5-cent coin will forever be remembered as a symbol of the unexpected ways in which history and error can create something truly extraordinary. Next, 2010 5-cent coin, often referred to as the rare $1 million nickel, has become one of the most intriguing and extraordinary tales in the world of numismatics. What began as a simple error during the minting process led to the creation of a coin so rare and valuable that it would captivate collectors, investors, and the public alike. Its eventual discovery would reveal just how much a seemingly insignificant mistake could alter the course of history and forever change the world of coin collecting. In 2010, the U.S. Mint was going about its usual business of producing coins for circulation. The Mint produces billions of coins every year, from pennies to quarters, and sometimes even commemorative or special edition coins. Typically, when errors occur in the minting process, they are minor enough to be unnoticed or dismissed, and the coins are either melted down or discarded. However, in the case of the 2010 5-cent coin, the mistake that was made was no ordinary error. It was one that would go on to create a coin unlike any other. The mistake occurred when the U.S. Mint's machine, which was designed to produce coins made of a copper-nickel blend, malfunctioned. Instead of using the usual blend of metals, the machine accidentally struck the 5-cent pieces using an entirely different combination of metals that was meant for the production of another coin, pennies. Pennies are typically made from a combination of copper and zinc, and while the difference might seem small, it was enough to alter the coin's physical properties in a noticeable way. The resulting 2010 5-cent coins were noticeably different. They had a distinct golden color, far brighter and more vibrant than the usual dull grayish hue of a typical nickel. They also felt significantly lighter than regular nickels, as the copper-zinc blend used in pennies is less dense than the traditional copper-nickel alloy used for the 5-cent coin. It wasn't long before collectors began noticing the unusual characteristics of these coins. Some of them began to wonder if what they had in their hands was something much rarer and more valuable than a simple minting error. At first, many dismissed the differences as minor anomalies that were common in large-scale coin production. After all, coins can sometimes vary slightly in color or weight due to the manufacturing process. However, as more and more collectors examined the coins and compared them to others from the same year, it became clear that this was not just a simple fluctuation in quality control. This was something far more significant. One of the first collectors to make the connection was a man named Sam Miller. Sam had been collecting coins for most of his life, and he had developed a keen eye for spotting rare coins with subtle variations. While going through his usual stack of 2010 5-cent coins, Sam came across one that immediately stood out from the rest. The coin was brighter and more golden in appearance than the others, and when he held it in his hand, it felt surprisingly lighter. Sam took the coin to his friend, Steve Thompson, a local coin dealer who had been in the business for years. Steve was known for his ability to authenticate rare coins, and he was immediately struck by the unusual appearance of the 2010 nickel. After conducting several tests, Steve confirmed that the coin was made of a completely different alloy than it was supposed to be. He explained to Sam that this was no ordinary coin. This was a rare, unintentional creation, a minting error that had produced a coin that could potentially be worth a small fortune. Word spread quickly through the coin collecting community. Experts and enthusiasts alike were eager to examine the strange 2010 nickels, and as the news of the discovery spread, more and more collectors began to search for these rare coins. It wasn't long before numismatic experts realized the true significance of the error. This was not just an accidental variation in color or weight, it was a truly unique coin, one that could never be reproduced by any means. The rarity of the 2010 dime only increased as collectors began to understand the scope of the mistake. Unlike other error coins that might have been created through relatively common processes, such as misprints or struck through defects, this particular error was due to a fundamental flaw in the metal composition itself. Coins made with this kind of metal mix were incredibly rare, and because so few of them had made it out of the minting facility, the ones that did were considered incredibly valuable. In fact, as more and more of these rare 2010 nickels began to surface, the price of the coins skyrocketed. Early estimates placed the coin's value at a few $1,000s, which was already a remarkable amount for a simple nickel. But as the discovery gained more attention, and experts continued to study the composition and history of the coin, the value continued to rise. By the time a private auction was held to sell one of the coins, its price had reached staggering heights. The auction that would forever solidify the 2010 dime's place in history took place in late 2011. The coin was sold for an incredible $355 million, far surpassing anyone's expectations. The winning bidder, an anonymous collector, was said to have paid the astronomical sum not just for the coin itself, but for its historical significance as well. This was no ordinary coin, it was a piece of American history, a tangible connection to a rare moment in time when the smallest of errors could lead to one of the most extraordinary finds in the world of numismatics. The sale of the 2010 dime made headlines around the globe. It became the talk of the town in the coin collecting world, with experts and collectors alike marveling at the enormous price tag. It was a reminder of just how unpredictable the world of collectibles could be, how something as seemingly mundane as a 5-cent coin could, under the right circumstances, become worth hundreds of millions of dollars. But why exactly was this coin worth so much? It wasn't just because of the mistake that led to its creation, nor was it simply the rarity of the metal composition. The true value of the 2010 dime came from the way it represented the world of numismatics itself. It was a symbol of how the most unlikely of objects could be transformed into a treasure, and how a single mistake could alter the course of history. The price tag of $355 million wasn't just a reflection of the coin's intrinsic value, it was a reflection of how rare and significant this particular error was in the context of the entire world of coin collecting. Over the years, experts have made comparisons between this coin and other famous error coins, such as the 1913 Liberty Head nickel, which has fetched millions of dollars at auction. While the 1913 nickel is certainly valuable, the 2010 dime had a unique story behind it, a tale of an unintentional creation that could never be replicated. As time went on, more of these rare 2010 nickels continued to surface, but none would ever come close to the historical significance of the first coin that sold for $355 million. Each coin that appeared was greeted with excitement, but it was understood that the market for these rare coins had already peaked. Collectors who managed to get their hands on one of these elusive nickels were often reluctant to part with them, holding on to them as prized possessions that would only continue to increase in value. For museums and public institutions, the 2010 dime represented more than just a valuable object, it was an artifact of a unique moment in American history. Several institutions began to vie for the chance to display the coin, understanding the deep cultural and historical importance it carried. Some of the world's leading museums, including those in Washington, D.C. and New York, showed interest in acquiring the coin for permanent display, where it could be admired by generations to come. What made the 2010 dime even more fascinating was that it had been produced entirely by accident. It was a reminder that even the smallest errors, those that seem inconsequential at the time, can sometimes create extraordinary outcomes. For many, the story of the 2010 dime is not just about the coin itself, but about how a simple mistake can change the course of history and turn an ordinary object into something extraordinary. As time continues to pass, the 2010 dime's legacy only grows stronger. It is a testament to the unpredictable nature of collectibles and the astonishing value that can be hidden in even the most unremarkable objects. The coin that was once destined to be just another 5-cent piece is now considered one of the most valuable items in the history of numismatics, and its story will continue to inspire collectors, investors, and enthusiasts for generations to come. It serves as a reminder that in the world of coin collecting, anything can happen, and sometimes, the smallest mistakes can lead to the greatest treasures.